Hey, what's up?
Yeah, with that. Yep.
Weekly Meta Reviews here. Not naked. Fuck. We're not naked. Um, yeah. And we're here talking about, someone asked me in our Q&A video, what's my opinions on new wave of thrash metal and stuff like that. So I thought, let's make a separate video out of this shit. And I got Keith here with me, and we're going to thrash the fuck out right now. And we're going to tell you what our top 5 wave of new thrash metal bands are. This does not include, the newer, thrash metal bands that have been around for a while that are back better than ever, like Creator, Overkill, Megadeth, whatever. I mean, Megadeth might not be back better than ever.
No.
Super Collider.
Super Collider.
But, you get the point. This is going to talk about, bands that have just recently came out. Also, Lamb of God is not included on this list. Just want to throw that out there before somebody decides to comment saying, where the fuck is Lamb of God? Lamb of God has been around for a while now. Anyways.
You can go first.
You can go first.
Okay, my number 5 is Havoc. The reason I have them, I actually really like this band, but the reason they're kind of low on the list, and I'll get this out of the way, is because they really, really, especially listening to their cover of Postmortem Raining Blood, they really sound a lot like Slayer to me. A lot of just some of, their mannerisms and, the riffs that they write really remind me of Slayer. I mean, even, DOA, after when it picks up again with the tremolo picking and all that, and whoever the singer, I don't know his name, he does the high-pitched scream. That riff sounds almost exactly like the riff from Postmortem, and then the high-pitched scream, I mean, that's Slayer. That's that kind of, just, not even a scream, it's like a wail, like a banshee, that's Slayer. But, other than that, this band, it's one of another classic instance of it's all thrash all the time. This band really doesn't slow down at all. I've listened to, the album Time Is Up, right? That's, again, the album just kind of blasts through the entire way, and it's, they make everything kind of work. They have some of, the most technical parts, the one part that's, right before the solo in Prepare for Attack, where it's there's a really fast picking. I'm like, yeah. And I just think, again, playing with this band and seeing this band live, yeah, Havoc. Fuck yeah.
Played with Havoc.
Hey,
That's cool.
I forgot about that until I just
They
thought
completely demolished us.
that.
Number 5, I have Bonded by Blood. Not the album, the band. They're low on my list because they stole that name. But anyways, no, I'm not just kidding. They honestly are a good band. I really like, their second album. Their first album, Feed the Beast, is wicked as shit. Their second album is where it's at to me. I do like their newer album, The Aftermath, but I like the old vocals a lot better. I feel he put a lot more energy into the band, put a lot more, aggression and all that. Jaw. That made no sense. But all that stuff into it. They have some really, really good guitar players, some really, really great talent in this band. And they kick a lot of ass. They really do. When I listen to more of the newer thrash metal bands, Bonded by Blood is one that comes on pretty often to me. I still don't have any of their albums for some reason, so I gotta change that. But yeah, Bonded by Blood kicks some ass. Number 4, I have Havoc. I agree with everything Keith said. Havoc is really good. And the first time that I heard Prepare for Attack, I creamed everywhere. That song is heavy as shit. When that riff kicks in, and those drums, that's just ridiculously good. But they do sound very Slayerish. Some of the riffs just sound like they've been done a couple times over in ways. But when they stand out more of their own, they're really, really good. What's the song? Point of No Return, From the Cradle to the Grave, off their newer EP. That shit rules. Songs like DOA, Time Is Up, No Amnesty, what am I missing? There's a lot of them.
Covenant Fires.
Covenant Fire, that was a good one. I mean, this band just has a lot of talent. I find the guitar solos to be wicked in this band. Just certain parts are just absolutely ridiculous. Like DOA, like Keith was saying, is very Slayerish, but when they palm mute that shit and they start doing the chants that Dead on Arrival, like that's just ridiculous, that riff. I love that. You know, Havoc will always have a special place in my heart because we did open up for them in Skeleton Witch. But Havoc is a really good band. I'm pumped for the new album. I want to put that out there.
My number 4 is, as you know, we both have mentioned, we opened up for Havoc. And this band, which I have Skeleton Witch, which I guess you could kind of consider them thrash. They're like half thrash, half black metal. And I honestly didn't really like know of this band until we opened up for them that much. Like I kind of started listening to them when I found out we were opening up. And what's the, you know, Beyond the Permafrost?
Trail.
Yeah, Choke Pump Trail. And like I you know, borrowed Beyond the Permafrost from this kid, and I mean it's great because I mean it's you know, it's thrash for the more, you know, extreme metal fan, I guess. Like if you like a little bit more harder stuff, I mean Skeleton Witch is probably the way for you to go. I mean the vocalist, the vocals are great. I love the vocals. Like it's probably one of very few like black metal-ish band vocals that I can dig. And I mean, this band is just surprisingly melodic at times. I don't even remember the song, but when we saw them and we were playing with them, they played one song, and the middle part was just like so epic, and I was like, whoa. Because you know, again, they come off as so like hard and all that, like the harder kind of thrash, and it just goes to that, and it's like, yeah. So I mean, this band has, you know, blown me away in a lot of ways. So that's my number 4. Number 3, I have Lazarus AD. Reason I picked this band is these were the first like the modern thrash bands that I kind of got into. First song I heard from them was
The Ultimate Sacrifice.
Yes, that one.
Black Rouge.
The Ultimate Sacrifice. That's which, you know, I was just messing around like on, you know, on demand or something, looking up, and I saw they had that music video up, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. And then I started looking into, you know, that album. I haven't really listened to too much of their first album, but like again, Black River's Flow is another great song. And I mean, what's another? Only the Strong Will Prevail is another great song. Like they're everything you kind of want with thrash, because they have like the harsher vocals and they have like more clean vocals for the one guitarist, and it's you know, it's and then the drumming I think is probably some of the best thrash drumming that I've seen in a lot of modern thrash bands. I mean, they use blast beats, but I mean they don't use, you know, use them too much. They throw them in, they fit, and then some of the double bass patterns I hear, especially on the Ultimate Sacrifice, like after the chorus when like the drums pick back up and there's like a solo. I just love that drum beat, like that's in that riff. It's probably one of my favorite parts of like any modern thrash song. I mean, this band is just amazing to me.
My number 3 is fucking Diamond Plate. This album I mean they only have one album, I think, and holy shit is it awesome. Generation Y. So many amazing riffs throughout here. I mean, our one buddy just plays this album all the time, and it honestly got me more into it. I mean, At the Mountains of Madness, that's all you have to say.
Mountains of Madness.
That's all you have to say, and this album's just great. I mean, that song there makes this whole album. But then there's songs like that title track, Generation Y, or just so many memorable riffs. And this band is so fucking young. I saw them, the first time I saw Overkill, this band opened up for them. And I was blown away by how young this band was and how much talent they have. I mean, they were running around. They're like our age, just running around, not even looking at their guitars, and just shredding this solo. I was just floored. I'm like, that's not even fair, dude. It is really good. I mean, the soloing on here is top notch. It really, it's kind of between that line of having an awesome solo and just shredding your ass off the whole time. It falls right on it to me. But the shredding's just fantastic. And there's so many epic moments, like, what's the last song? Something about an empire. I forget, but that song's just epic as shit. Just a lot of epic moments. And this band's also very melodic. They're just not all thrash all the time. They're melodic. They spice it up. I'd say the only downer about this band is the vocals. The vocals are kind of eh. Like, they could be a lot better, but they're kind of unique at the same time. I know they got a new vocalist, and I'm pretty sure now. I'm excited for their new album whenever it comes out. I haven't heard too much about it. But, Diamond Plate. It's a great band. Such a metal band name.
Diamond Plate.
Diamond Plate. This is awesome. What's my number 2?
That's a good question.
My number 2 is Revocation. This band also leans a little bit towards the death metal side, but they're also very thrashy at the same time. This band is incredibly unique. Absolutely, there's no band like Revocation out there to me. They just write so much wicked and sometimes weird and sometimes just downright brutal, so fast and aggressive kind of shit. Dismantle the Dictator, amazing song with some really twisted riffs. The whole Chaos of Forms album is just got me into this band. It literally blew me away. I forget some of the songs on it because I haven't listened to it for a really long time, but I know from start to finish this album was incredibly solid. The guitar playing on this, in this band, is some of the best guitar playing that I honestly think you will find in metal, period. It's so tight. Like, they're just so tight as a band with some great, great drumming that goes along with it. But what I find just unique about this band is the vocals aren't always scream. Sometimes they're very, you know, I don't even know how to describe them. They're just weird kind of at times. Sometimes they're, you know, more death metal. I mean, it's crazy. And same with the guitar riffs. Sometimes you have just those really fucked up, twisted, more technical death metal type riffs. Sometimes they're just really straightforward and thrashy. Sometimes they're just weird. This band can write some weird shit, but they make it work, and that's what makes them unique. I think all 3 albums from this band are absolutely golden. Existence is futile. Futile, however you say that. It's just a great album too as well. That's all I really have to say about Revocation. Just a great band in general. I am stoked. One of the most anticipated albums of the year for me is Revocation's new album when it drops this summer. I'm really excited for that. So if you haven't checked out Revocation, please do. They're very underrated. They just great band.
I'll have to do that because, yeah, blown. But my number 2 band is a band from across the pond. This band's Evil. Again, it's another band that I guess maybe it's the Slayer fan in me coming out, but in a way they sound a lot like Slayer, especially the vocals. What's the vocals name? I can't think of it off the top of my head. Yeah, I forget too. But yeah, I mean, he sounds a lot like, you know, Tom Araya, but it's different enough that, you know, it gives the band their own identity. I mean, I remember when, you know, Tyler showed me Infected Nation by this band, and I was just blown away. The amount of talent that is in this band is amazing, and I mean, they're probably one of the most, like, thrashiest bands that I've heard out of all of these, and it's just so, like, you know, the drumming is insane, you know, for, you know, thrash drumming, and then, you know, and it's like, I don't know, it's really, you can't describe it with words, you can only describe it with short grunting sounds, you know, it's the only way that you can describe this band, with like that. And then they go and they have like melodic moments, like what's the song, In Memoriam?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's probably my favorite song by them, and it's like weird because they don't have any songs like that, and then they wrote that, and it's so beautiful and melodic. I mean, I know that's not their style, but if they wrote more songs like that, I mean, God, I'd be happy because it's just amazing. So you know, Evil, definitely go ahead and check them out. And my number one band, which, you know, might not be too much of a surprise, is...
I think we shared a number one band.
Probably. It's Warbringer. So, this band, like, again, just so many things about this band that come together. Kind of like what Tyler said with Diamond Plate. Warbringer. Is there a more thrash name than Warbringer? Their first album was called Total War. Because, you know, I listened to it with you a couple of times. That is probably the angriest thing I've ever heard. But the only thing that might rival it is a Slipknot album. And, you know, that's, you know, Slipknot's like on the other end of the spectrum in terms of metal. It's like how balls out this band is. I mean, the album that I really listened to extensively is World Torn Asunder. And that's, the first 4 tracks of that album are some of the best thrash tracks I've ever heard. You know, Living Weapon is... And you know, there's the middle part. I'm just like, oh, why? It like, I almost don't want to be in a thrash band anymore because I'm like, that is a great riff. And then there's Shattered Like Glass, and then there's like the after the second chorus, it's like the half breakdowny thing. And I'm like, yeah. And then yeah, you know, Wake Up Destroy. Like, that's another thing. It's like, it sounds corny, but how more thrash it can. I'm like, it's thrash. And then Future Age Is Gone. I mean, I like that song because it touches a little bit more on the slightly more melodic side that they have. And I mean, there's other songs like Echoes from the Void is another great song. Treacherous Tongue.
Enemy of the State.
Yeah, like this band.
Just
I mean,
that whole album.
this, like, I mean, this, not to sound repetitive, but like, especially the guitars. I love the guitar tone of this band. It's so, you know, heavy, thrash, and the vocals. They're like, they're scream, but they're not like, you know, scream where it gets to the more hardcore side of things. It's like a more slightly developed, like, Slayer scream or something, and it's just, So, yeah, that's why I picked Warbringer.
Honestly, I think Warbringer is the most extreme, most pissed off, heaviest, fastest thrash metal band to ever exist. You can fight me all day. You can come at me, bro. I don't care. Warbringer will literally destroy and fuck your brains out. Literally. Like in the song Total War from their first album, there's not a thrash metal debut that is as fucking pissed off as that. It's like they just want to destroy everybody and destroy the world. It's like their mission is to be the angriest thrash metal band of all time. And I say they accomplished that. I would, when it comes to ranking, like, what's the angriest and fastest thrash metal band, I'm sorry, I'm picking Warbringer over Slayer. That's just me. A lot of people will fight me over that. Fight me. I don't care. I mean, when in the song Total War, when it stops and the vocalist yells Total War, it sounds like his brains are about to just implode. He's screaming so hard. And then they just go back into that riff, and it's just like, oh my god! Like, yes! It is just awesome. And songs like Living Weapon, it's these songs you can sing along to. You can just, they're not just songs to get in a circle pit and headbang and fucking thrash around like a dumbass too. I mean, these songs you can just really, you know, they're crowd chanters, you know, Living Weapon, you know, that's just shit's ridiculous. And then it just goes to this nasty ass riff. I mean, their guitar tone is so dirty and gritty and fucking heavy. It is great. I mean, I agree with everything that Keith said. This band just kicks so much ass. I mean, songs like Severed Reality, whole Jackal, like, god damn it. I mean, I love this band. This band is the band that really got me into more of the newer thrash. And I feel that almost every band that I find that's really not that popular tries to emulate what Warbringer does, and they just fucking fail. And I'm not saying that they're bad, they just can't pull it off like Warbringer does. Warbringer just has it all. They have the sound for it, they have the right people that they can just do this shit. And it's really they're just such a powerful band, and Warbringer just rules. They're fast. They're insane. They're just amazing. So that is our top 5 of the newer thrash metal bands. Maybe we'll do a top 10 thrash metal bands of all time, ever.
Maybe.
You never know.
Maybe.
Might
I
happen.
don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know, dude.
I don't know. It might happen.
I gotta go take a nap.
Bye.